So we'll pull you awake. He says it's great. He's got his legs back. He runs off to the compound, comes back feeling great, and he's going to do the mission. Not realising that the savages he's going out to infiltrate are in fact more righteous people than the earth has ever known. It is really a heavenly state where one would wish to go to when one dies. The reality is, however, you don't go there. You're staying here on the earth, and we're going to make the earth paradise. But these brilliant movies is certainly inspired by the angels. So finally we go ahead a little, and he's taken into the jungle with others. Finally, when the animals attack, he's separated from the party, and he's by himself. So the animals of the forest are not fooled by the outward appearance. They see the soul inside that is not an avatar, and evil human being attacks him. The animals protect the forest. Everything is in a state of equilibrium where all souls are of the mother, the forest. That is precisely what the earth is. It is the soul of Amma. Your mother is Amma. That's why you have to marry the father when he finally comes to the earth. The princess of the avatar is watching. She has to kill some of the creatures that end up attacking this marine avatar, though she doesn't want to, because they are part of her. Finally, after a war, and I won't spoil the plot for you, but the corporate government of the earth is defeated, and the victorious people rejoice, and the two seen here are the princess and the marine, who is now, through death of the marine and a resurrection process, he resurrects into the body of the avatar. The word avatar basically means God in the flesh and resurrection. It's also seen in several of the Eastern religions. So without doubt this movie was inspired by the angels. It is revealing wonders to the children of every turn, which is what the end time is all about. Christians will hate it because it's entirely foreign to the teachings of the church. But then the teaching of the church will not help people in New Guinea who have AIDS. I've contacted them all, and their problem is that they would have to accept me if they was going to help Janelle and I do what we do in New Guinea. Now here's where you can look up the Freemason Bible, but there is 8,674 words in the Old Testament. If you call that years, it's let's say 8.674 years. It is 3168 days. So you see the day, the year, the numbers, they're all synchronistic. And in the New Testament, if you reduce the 8674 by 3050, which is Jehovah, God, you have the number of words there are in the New Testament, 5624 words. So you take God, out of it, and you have the New Testament. And that's what it's all about. Now, any of those of you who've had a near-death experience, you go through the light just as shown in the movie. Now, there's between 2 and 4 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy alone, not to mention all the other galaxies. There's no life out there. The very first thing that would come to the Earth would be a radio signal. It would suggest then that the Earth is not alone and that it's not anything special. This is what the scientists of the world want you to think. They want you to be regarded as an animal, as per Talmud. Anyone who has watched some of my videos see how the Talmud who worship the first 5 books of the Genesis, which is not the oldest books at all. The oldest book is Job, and that's where your story is. It talks about reincarnation. It goes from house to house, as it says. So what the Talmud tries to convince the churches is that you are animals, and that you can be culled off because you're doing damage to the earth. But the earth could look after 100,000 times the population of the earth as it is. It's huge resources. It only has to be managed properly.
Now, that's not to say there are aliens. This movie, although it does focus on space travel, which we debunked and you already know, it doesn't actually focus on aliens, except its reference to the people from Earth who are on the planet, and they are the enemy. They refer to them as aliens, and actually demons. They refer to the humans on the Earth as the demons. Yeah.
Down from the sky.
They've come down from the sky, that's right. The planet that they are on is called Pandora, and of course you've got the USA as the corporation there, a huge presence, the military corporate presence that they are, and they are there to mine a mineral that's available from Pandora, and it just so happens that this mineral, which is, has anti-gravity properties, is worth $20 million a kilogram, and the mother lode of that mineral is sitting right underneath the tree that is the home tree, or call it the tree of life, for the natives of Pandora, who are called...
and the animals.
And the animals, who are called Navi. Now, bringing us back to the movie itself is set in the future in the year 2154. Now, when you go to see this movie, you will see very clearly the parallel with the revelation of who's who in the zoo here in these end times, the revelation of the devils in Bush Sr. and his wife Barbara, Henry Kissinger, George Jr., the Clintons. These people are referred to as the Nazi crime, the Bush-Clinton crime syndicate. They're referred to by their peers literally as Nazis, and it's through their hold and grip over the nation of the USA that they have turned the USA into the monster that it is, the dragon, corporate USA, totally the beast. And so when you see this movie unfolding, you've got the corporate beast on this planet Pandora. They've arrived there as the aliens or the uninvited guests. They're there with all of their war equipment and machinery to take over, come what may, the planet Pandora, to mine it for this anti-gravity mineral. And literally their attitude is, stuff the natives, it's all about money, we don't care what it takes, you can try diplomatic avenues, you've got 3 months to infiltrate, and this is how the story unfolds. You've got the hero, of course, who is there, and all right, I'll get into the movie in a minute, but we're looking at a slide now because we've learned today that what has unfolded in the last weeks and months is that Interpol now has diplomatic immunity in the USA, and there's been 8 plane loads of police and lawyers and people who are going in, auditing, arresting all of the names that we've heard about for years, for money laundering, for fraud, for theft of trillions of dollars. We've been hearing over the past weeks through the likes of Benjamin Fulford and Christopher Story and others that there's Barbara Bush and her husband George, they've actually been reported to have been killed. That is still unconfirmed as far as I know. Henry Kissinger is supposed to have been arrested. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes where literally